Popeye here, my buddy Cloudy, my partner here. We're also here. Detective Special, Colt 38 Special. Really cool, vintage, I believe it's a 1964 snubby revolver. I tell you, this is something really cool. I like little snub-nosed revolvers. I always have, mainly because of all those old movies that I've watched way too much of. So definitely it's got a romance with me and everything. So here's the other side of it and the other markings on it. This one is definitely worn, and it still retains some of its bluing, but it's definitely got some wear and tear done to it, some mileage on it. It is also here, you'll see the frame goes all the way down, so it's a full frame. Some of them are half frames or short frames, where the frame only comes down so far, and then the rest of the grip kind of makes up for it. The Diamondback is one that comes to mind that I've seen that's like that. I've got another one of these that is the Agent, which is the alloy framed one. That also has a little short frame, but it also has the shrouded ejector rod. Now that was important. Now this one here is an indication it's an older one because it doesn't have that shrouded ejector rod. And this one here, here's a good example of why they started to do that, because if you actually look carefully, this one was dropped. It definitely was dropped right there, and it hit that extractor, or not the ejector rod, knurled in, and probably right here on the edge of the barrel it was dropped. So this one's got quite a little bit of a history with me. That's why I kept it all these years. I picked this up back when I was living on the island, and I went to a fella that was I usually get my old vintage stuff from, kind of the only game in town really, and that's partly why things were operated the way they were with him. But anyway, so I went to him and I said, you know, I'm looking for a Colt Detective Special 38, obviously snubby. That's what the Detective Special is. And I said, yeah, he had one, and you know, so he ended up showing me one. It was a second generation, or the much later one with the shrouded ejector rod, which I didn't want. So, but he made it sound like it was going to be really, really expensive, and it was. I mean, his prices were quite high. I ended up later on finding this one. I believe this one came from Gunbroker. It was like $400. I kid you not. I mean, of course, this was some years back ago. You know, maybe 10 years ago or something like that. So, but I ended up picking up this one and hung on to it all this time because it was a good price. And yeah, it's definitely got some scars and everything on it. And that's why the price was the way it was, because it had been dropped. The wear and tear on the back strap and everything, but I mean, it wasn't for me, it wasn't really a collector's item. It's just because of the cool factor of the movie and whatnot, and I just had to have one, and now I do, and I've always had it, and I'm not going to get rid of it or anything like that. So, but anyway, it remains in a collection. I thought you might enjoy seeing the Detective Special, and I've had actually, it's been on the channel before. But I figured you'd like to see it in all its splendor, what it looks like these days.